We're back from the dead. Yours truly, Titus.
I'm back.
And I was almost dead. I had something bad, sick. So that was why you haven't had no episodes for about 3 weeks. Well, it'll be longer than this by the time this is recorded. I got super sick. Did you get sick too?
I didn't get sick.
I
was almost waiting like I'm going to get sick right before camping.
Oh.
I just knew it.
Did you know there's a pink eye outbreak right now? Today?
Oh, really?
2.
I'm going to stay away.
And the scary thing is, like, I dealt with that. Okay, so everybody listening, I had these things.
We didn't plan on the matching sleeves, by the way. That's not a thing if you're watching.
It's not a thing. But I started with fever. Then I got, I lost my voice for a couple days. Then I got pink eye in my left eye. The next day I got it in my right eye. Then I got congested. I got fever again. The other bathroom stuff. Oh, man.
So what you're telling me is that you had no excuse of putting on a podcast.
Exactly. There was no reason. I should have put them out every day.
We wanted to see the pus bleeding out your eyes.
Dude, it was nasty. Now I know why Travis has problems with this mic. It's like,
oh, really? You sound fine, though. I don't know. It sounds good to me.
There's something going on.
Jamming up your nose.
Now I feel bad for getting out. Travis, why do you always have problems with this? And he always uses this one. I should put the white one in. But so for whatever it's worth, everybody listening, that's what's been going on. But Michael's here, my brother-in-law. He's been on before a few times. And so we're just going to talk about some things. The newest news.
Yeah.
Trump. So when we're recording this, the whole deal with the attempted assassination of Trump was yesterday for us.
Yeah. And we're remote, so we don't even we have no cell phone coverage until you go down like a certain part where you actually can get a phone call or take a phone call.
We're out in the boondocks, for most people. This is the boondocks.
We're disconnected.
Yeah.
So
who found out first, or how'd that?
So Travis was up there with Tamara, his wife, and that's the first I heard. Was she was on the phone with her mom.
Keep going. I'm gonna swap these.
Yeah, and she was on the phone with her mom. And we pulled up because Tara's needing to get her Bible app thing on her phone situated, so we were kind of trying to do that. And she's all, Trump got shot. And we're like, what? Like, when you say that, you're like, he's dead, right? Or somebody shot him in the torso, right, somewhere where it's like kind of major. But some more information was kind of spilling out instantly. So found out he got shot in the ear. And if you're listening to this, you already know all the news because it's going to be the most worldwide, biggest news worldwide, I think, at this moment, probably, I would say. Without being know what's going on right now, I would say it's the biggest deal right now.
There's probably going to be a lot more news by the time this goes out of the more details, I'm sure. Right.
Yeah, but that is the craziest thing. That just,
dude,
for us to hear about it too, because and the whole thing, we watched the little video because somebody went and got a little video of it and snapped, did a little screen recording of it. And seeing that whole thing was just for him to get back up and, everything was happening.
Raise his fist in the air and say, fight. Yeah, I was like, dude, he's a savage.
Yeah.
And this whole thing with, Trump has some things, right, that maybe we don't agree with. No, I'm not saying he's a perfect man. We never thought that. I don't think nobody that likes Trump thinks that. But we know he's the best man for the job, right?
Yeah.
And times were good when he was president. But when that happened and I seen that, I was like, it gave me chills, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this dude's a savage, and he has no other reason to do this. Like we were talking up there a little bit ago, he's not doing it for money. He's rich.
Yeah. He can just go play golf. He loves golf, so he can go play golf for the,
right.
however long he wants. And he's kind of said it too.
Don't track
he's not, well, I'm sure, he kind of wants to do it too, but go ahead and do that. Here we go. By the way, hey, this one is really good.
Oh.
This one is
you were supposed to crack it when we
sorry.
show a little closer to the screen.
This right here. It's limited edition, so you're not gonna, by the time you're seeing this, you're probably not gonna be able to get it because I couldn't find it in stores. I went all stores. Only one I could find is this Star Spangled Splash.
They didn't have that one.
They didn't have this one, and they were all sold out of Liberty Chill. I went to Walmart, Target, Food for Less.
So you definitely going to probably find that one anywhere.
I didn't even see hide or hair of this one at all.
So this white one, what's the name of that one, Mike?
This one is Freedom Fusion.
Okay, that one, everybody listen, if you can get your hands on that one, if you haven't already, that one's a peach peach lemonade mix, supposedly. Man, it's good. I love peach. I ain't gonna lie. That's my top 2 or 3 Mountain Dew flavors right there.
We're totally like being OCD, or not really OCD, like losing our attention span here.
Oh, yeah, all over the place. Like people say I do.
Go from Trump getting shots of Mountain Dew, but this one tastes...
Well, when I crack one, you can't. What are you supposed to do? You
Yeah,
know?
I saw it.
Sorry.
This one tastes as much, for me, as close to a Red Bull, like a flavor of a Red Bull, without having like the energy drink taste.
Right.
This tastes as close to like a Red Bull flavor. Almost.
You like it?
I like it a lot. Yeah, I would say this is now top 3.
Yeah.
I did like that Liberty Chill one because I like blue slushies.
Yeah.
But I would say this one's even better than that. It's Baja Blast is still up there.
Yep.
Regular Mountain Dew.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if I want to throw Baja Blast behind that, but that's why I said I'm like,
Yeah.
I almost could, but I wonder if I'll get burned out of that one.
The only way to tell is if you did a blind taste test. And like,
yes,
because whenever you remove the sight out of it,
yes,
like you get another level of whatever taste it kind of elevates, right? Or it doesn't elevate. It kind of removes something out of the equation.
I am putting notes for this podcast, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just putting this in here so I don't lose track of all these episodes we're doing. So everybody listen, by the way, I told somebody, I don't know if I told you this, I'm going to try to do 20. That was a big bug.
That was a big one, huh?
This camp is infested with
They're
flies
bad.
and bugs.
They knew we were recording. They're like, let's come out, boys.
Oh, come on. Here we go. But I told Johnny and Barney I'm going to do 20 episodes. He's like, dude, 20? And I'm like, probably not. But got to set a goal somewhere.
Are they going to do any?
They said they're going to do 2. Anyways, I know I'm going to be on one, and he said Tal and Adam or me because they guided with them a bunch. Yeah. So, and guys, if you haven't listened to that or jumped over there, check out. I'm shooting a blank now.
Pure Adrenaline.
Pure Adrenaline. Outdoors.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm the one helping with them, and
Pure. 2 podcasts ago, I think what was, or
how many had they done?
No, with you that came on.
Oh, before I come on.
No. You did a podcast with them. The last one or the one before that?
Yeah, a couple ago, and I talked about in there, but Pure Adrenaline Outdoors, isn't it? No, Pure Adrenaline Adventures.
Okay,
it's Pure Adrenaline Adventures, and it's
outdoors.
Good. No, Pure Adrenaline Adventures.
Okay,
and they're good. I enjoy it. They do really good. It's brand new to them, kind of out of their comfort zone, and I guess Barney said they're getting super good feedback from it, and I enjoy listening to it. They've kind of got that soothing, calm voice, you know.
Yeah.
They're not, and they're not like
forever.
squirrels like we are, where you just go from Mountain Dew to Trump to.
Yeah, they're pretty on track.
But I'm just trying to put some notes in here so I don't get lost. If I have this many episodes, I'm gonna get confused of what we talked about.
I mean, if you want to go back to Trump, because
go back to Trump though. So this is what I wanted to say about this. You just piggyback off however you want to go. But what I wanted to say about this is, and it's not very extravagant, but I did want to say this. We've had so many garbage presidents over the years, right? Terrible presidents. And no one's tried to assassinate them. And you're like, this probably sounds terrible, but like, why don't they get assassinated, you know?
Yeah.
But what it shows is how corrupt and how evil the government is, because that's why nothing happens to them, because they're not a threat to them.
Yeah.
Now, Trump, they hate him. And we know that. We see all the things, him getting all these indictments and all these judgments and all these things against him. And you're like, man, they must really hate him, but maybe there's something to it. I don't know. You're trying to play both sides and not go just staunch one way. Yeah. And then this thing is another thing that adds on top of it. Him getting multiple shots at, and people that were there supporting him die. One died, right, and one's critical condition. And then Trump calls them. And then Trump called our friends, the Bakers, and them that lost the missionary friends.
Yeah.
Why he didn't have to do that. That's not giving him publicity. No one's going around saying, "Oh, he called the Bakers."
Yeah.
And the missionaries in Haiti. He's not getting nothing out of that.
Right.
So it just proves. It's just over and over again. It proves things. It proves who he is and what kind of person he is. Is he perfect? No. But, man, he must really be the guy for the job. For them to try to kill this guy. He's not even a president.
No, I know, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're assassinating a millionaire is what they're doing. Now, yeah, he's a candidate, but, he's not even the president.
Yeah.
And, look, Biden is a walking dead man. And now I'm saying all this stuff, I'm thinking, is this going to get deleted from YouTube now? We said less than this. Were you on that one with Andy and Matt?
No, but I remember watching it though, and
dude,
you can still listen to it.
I saw that not on YouTube.
I mean, you can listen to it on
Yes.
Apple Podcasts.
That's why I've thought about getting rid of the YouTube channel, just because I'm like, dude, you can't really say anything you want.
Yeah.
Especially after that, I'm like, a little peon guy like me, they're not going to be listening to that.
But you know what though? If you look
The boss will trigger it.
now they've transcript Apple Podcasts. If you go in, you can actually pull up the transcript of this podcast right now while we're talking. You can go up and look at the transcript and read it, so they know what words you're saying.
So now they know.
They'll know exactly what you're saying,
and they'll trigger that with the bots to say, okay, this guy's saying this or that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put it.
Okay, well, Michael, though, what's confusing to me is why is guys like, what's that Jewish guy that has a podcast that does like every day? He's super smart. Oh, what is his name? I thought you listened to him a little bit.
Oh, Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says he says everything and nothing happens to him. So I'm like, why would they mess with a little peon guy like me?
Yeah, I don't.
All we said is anti-war.
Unless there was a certain thing that was said in there, maybe that just got, I don't know.
I don't know what we would have said in there, though, that would have made that. But anyways, what's your take on it? I kind of already said what I said. Like, he must really be the guy. And let me say one more thing. I feel like, and we're God-fearing people, as most people know that listen to this podcast, but I feel like it's just a sign because half an inch more, he's dead. He's shot. More likely he's dead. That penetrates his skull. So missing by a half an inch or whatever, and he's still alive, getting shot at multiple times. It's in my mind, I'm like, God's protecting him for a reason. So maybe it kind of gave me a little bit like maybe he will win and maybe things will turn around.
Yeah, it was already in his favor. I know that especially after that last debate, like. Mm-hmm. And then there were so many things that in Trump's favor. Whenever it seems like they kind of put his name in the mud, and Shapiro says this too. He like Trump is like a mud monster. Like you're throwing mud at him, it only makes him like stronger. Just like that conviction that he had with that whole case, and 38 counts or whatever he did. And that night he got convicted of that. It was like the donations rolled in like in the close to 100 million or something like that, or it was in the million. It was in the millions. But it just seems like this right here, I don't know because I haven't watched any of the news yet or anything. Just by hearing what happened, was I could see this just boosting him and the people on the left that aren't crazy people. They may be centrists or center left, and they could see like, man, yeah, the left's kind of crazy, right? They're going to do some crazy stuff. There's there's no reason to hate somebody like this, like I don't agree with them, but I don't like this. You guys are kind of crazy. This kind of stuff kind of pushes people over the other side a little bit,
Yeah.
Those are kind of debating too between two camps that are, they're not one or the other.
It's
push them to one side.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And I think people look at the economy as a big deal too, like just certain things.
To me, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are realizing the most.
Yeah. Think about, were you better off 4 years ago than you are now?
Yeah.
How financially?
Ask yourself that question.
Ask yourself that question, just financially. Not anything else. I don't care about the mean tweets. Is that they didn't affect me. But I mean, there's things that he implemented and did that obviously changed the prices of things. Gasoline. They say, the president can't influence the price of gasoline or something like that. Well, once Biden got in office, he shut down the Keystone XL pipeline, and there's nothing coming in from that pipeline. Right? There's no gas coming in from that pipeline, but the price of gas went up. Well, why did our reserve or what we had didn't change? Well, it's the futures of gas, right? Because that was going to be a future feed, right? So if that goes away, like obviously it affects the price of gas. So it does affect it. So I think things a president can implement or not do, it can affect how we what we pay at the pump, and obviously when you pay at the pump is what you're going to pay for what we delivering stuff. That's everything that we have gets delivered. So the gasoline goes up. Guess what? The price of this Mountain Dew could go up because it doesn't get here magically in the stores. A truck drives it there. So I guess to go on back to my thoughts about it, as I think it just this is only boost his numbers for him. I mean, I think this is, and the way he came out of it. He almost like he was kind of upset, like somebody seriously tried to kill me. I think that's kind of thing too. I got hit in the ear, like. And the ear's not a thing like you're like, oh, it kind of hits. You're like, you almost think like, did something just hit me in the ear?
Right. You know what he acted when he first like swung his hands to it? It almost was like I thought of it looked like he thought a fly was on his ear or something. Like
it probably stung. I'm sure it stung.
Well, yeah, but like because it's so fast and you feel that feeling, he was probably just like I seen him go like this, and then when he realized it was shots, he ducked down.
The ground.
But dude, like, dude, I don't know. That was so sick when he was just like,
Yeah, he gets up. He's like, "Where's my shoes? Give me my shoes."
because when something like that really happens and it's that scary, you see the worst or best part of somebody.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
it's gonna come out of them. Now they ain't gonna.
Their fight or flight.
If they act like they're tough and then something happens that and they're not really, it'll come out.
Yeah.
But like he got more savage when that happened.
Yeah.
Than he was before. Like just trying to come out or like fight.
Yeah, that was really cool.
What was the deal with his shoes? What? His shoes?
I don't know. I think he probably got his shoes knocked off or something. Maybe his shoes came off. I don't know. Who knows? He probably had slip-ons. I don't know. You know, but he's like, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." It's like, you know, if you were really scared, like you wouldn't even think about if he had shoes on or not. So you're just gonna bolt, right?
Yeah.
But no, that's. I think I don't know. I think it'll boost him even more. I'm just curious to what some of the news cycle is going to say about this. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because
like which side you mean? Both sides or
more the left.
Yeah.
You're CNN,
see what they say.
MSNBC, and all those garbage.
Who knows?
Places, so.
It's pretty impressive how they can mess. They can just
they could twist things.
Well,
I had heard. I don't know if this is true, but they supposedly the guy that did it was a 20-year-old registered Republican. So somebody told me that, and I was like, well, he's been registered for 2 years. So I mean, I don't know. When did he register? You know, I don't know. But supposedly he had that, and he had a small handgun 50 yards away. So I don't know if that's how accurate that is, but I guess we'll find out more about it when we next week.
So I said by the time this one posts, it'll be week and a half
It'll all have unfolded. Mm-hmm. Well, most of it, hopefully.
Maybe we'll have to do a follow up. But it's just it's just something to talk about because it's something like wow, you know, it's like
that's I think that's a historical thing. Like we've had assassination attempts on presidents, but this was an assassination attempt, right?
Yeah,
from a high whatever you call it, like just a well known figure, right?
Right.
And there's a reason for it. You know, you don't just go shoot some randos just for no reason.
Well, and the thing is, people are gonna. I'm assuming it. So maybe we can make let's make our predictions. Let's do that, and then we'll roll into some of the biblical side of truth and what we're talking about, and then we're gonna do another episode on the other stuff. But this is what I think is gonna happen on the left side. A lot of them are gonna say that it's just some random dude, some kid. I don't know how they're going to twist that, and like I don't know if they're going to make it more like he's some type of religious thing, which wouldn't make any sense. I don't know about that, but I do think they're just going to be like, oh, this is some random peon. I guarantee you I'd just put about anything down this that it wasn't. Whether whoever picked it and what they did. Okay, look at when they charged the all the people that charged the was it the
January 6th?
Yes,
the Capitol. Yeah.
Okay, the Capitol. All the stuff that came out down the road with who those people really were.
Yeah, grandmas and old people. You know, just like they weren't doing anything, and they just walked in, right? So just all the stories.
There was so much stuff. Yeah. So it's like something's gonna unfold out of this. It may not be 2 weeks, a month, 6 months. It may be 5 years from now. But this kid's gonna be something. If he's 20 years old, Republican, something will come out of that. And I just curious to see. My prediction is there's going to be definitely something there for that, whether he was paid by somebody or who he was. But 20 years old, I mean, you can't have a ton of experience by your time you're 20, military-wise, skill-wise.
If it was 50 yards away with a handgun, 50 yards, in his ear, obviously, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just maybe he had some kind of skill or practice or something. I don't know. I feel like how
did they shoot that guy so fast in a crowd of people?
I don't know.
That's the other thing.
Because there's so many shots back to back that was going on.
Right. I know the Secret Service is so good, but at the same time, if you have a crowd of people,
thousands of people in a crowded area, like Where's Waldo, right?
How are they not hitting some pass-bys going through, hitting other people, or people freaking out because there is gunshots?
Yeah.
Maybe they just kind of split around them. I don't know. I'd like to know. I'm sure there's going to be more footage coming out, different angles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just curious, but
yeah.
So I guess let's roll into, and we can get more on the biblical side of things. Let me say this first real quick. I forgot to mention this. Guys that are listening to this, if you haven't heard about the discount on the molar chokes, we work together with them, and duck season's rapidly approaching, especially for guys that do early teal season in September. It's not that far away. If you watched our videos, and I got some good ones coming out. I was so sick I didn't have time to edit them, but I'm a through and through molar choke guy. Like I've tried all the other ones. Basically I've kept upgrading and like, okay, this one's better. This one's better. I get a better pattern, get a better count with this one. And by far now it's like the best patterns I've ever had. And you can go on Joel Strickland's page, Surviving Duck Season. He does a lot of those videos and proves it by slow-mo and by these programs that slow the shot like way, way down. But anyways, I believe we are the only ones that offer a discount on their chokes. And you can go to check out, put MVM 2024 or 2024, and you'll get 10% off. So, and thank you to everybody that's been doing it. It helps support us. But more than anything, you're going to love your pattern and you're going to love what you see, the results in the field. So anyways, so what I want to roll into from there about what's going on is why this has happened, I believe, is because of truth, right?
Yeah.
They don't want the truth coming out. And all he's ever done, seems like, is just reveal the truth on a lot of dirty, bad people. And again, not saying Trump's perfect. And I don't even want this conversation to evolve around Trump. I just want it to go from what we were talking about him and how bringing out the truth. The Bible says the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
And when truth comes out, the darkness is revealed biblically. And I just kind of wanted to talk about, we're doing the 90. I don't even want to call it a challenge because we were talking last night. It's not a challenge.
No.
It's just being a reader of the Word of God, the Bible, the Holy Bible. We read the King James Version, and that from front to back, that book is truth.
Yeah.
And it's still the number one selling book in the world. Isn't that powerful?
Yeah.
And how many times evil men have tried to destroy it, burn it, not let it be printed, not let it be copied, not let it spread throughout. And here we are. There's one sitting right here, or Sarah, my wife, she's in the background. We're up here camping, by the way. Been up here for a while, dry camping. And I know these went over well last time when you had a bunch of random people on here, but we're up here doing this. Michael's doing it. His wife is doing it. I'm doing it. My wife, Sarah's doing it. My brother, Thomas, and his wife's doing it. And a friend named Matt Yardwell, he's been on here once, and that was the one that got deleted. But
Can't say his name. We probably shouldn't say his name.
I know, huh? Maybe that's why it's going to get deleted again. But reading the Bible from front to back in 90 days. And it sounds hard. It sounds like a lot. But what else can we do that is such a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
make a huge effect in you.
Yes.
There's nothing that influences you more.
nothing.
There's a lot of things that we do. Our phones now, we see that like today is Sunday. So we've gotten that, if you have an iPhone, you gotten that little report that says, oh, you've been on your phone 6-7 hours per day average. And you can see, where you spend most of that time,
And what benefit is it to you?
Yeah, all these other things, all these other apps that you can get onto, like any game, YouTube, whatever, you're watching a movie or something like that. I mean, we're spending a lot of time on our devices. And a 90-day reading, it seems like to finish the Bible in 90 days, it's obviously it's a thick book, but it's and it seems impossible when you say 90-day Bible reading, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna spend all day reading the Bible.
Yeah.
No, it's like all those little times that you're spending playing in Angry Birds, like you can hop in and actually read the Bible for 15 minutes and finish a couple of chapters,
Right.
and then all throughout the day, and actually you can actually set aside some time, which I'm sure you might have. If you don't have 30 minutes to spare here or there, well, I don't.
There ain't nobody that busy.
I can't see how you're.
I don't care who you are. There ain't one person that we know is that busy.
Yeah.
You don't have 30 minutes in a day of free time.
You could stop. I mean, you're probably just filling your time with something, but how valuable is that thing that you're spending your time on?
Mm-hmm.
And I've wasted so much time just stupid things like, why am I doing this? Like, this is such a waste of time.
There's no value.
There's no value to this.
Not that it's wrong.
No, not that it's wrong.
Angry Birds ain't bad. Scrolling YouTube and watching YouTube videos and all this stuff.
You can do the death scroll on Instagram, just like
literally, dude.
And there's never going to be any end. You're going to keep on scrolling that thing because they want you to keep on scrolling. They'll feed you whatever you're wanting to see. They'll keep on feeding it to you.
Yep.
So YouTube will keep on recommending. You'll keep on flicking and find a video and go back and keep on flicking again. Like, it's just endless, and they'll feed you until like you've ran out of time, and there's your time right there. But And some people read the Bible a little bit faster than others. I'm a slow reader, but I'm still getting it done in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what we were talking about. Me and Sarah were actually talking this morning about it. What we and you talked about last night about the reading it, how long it takes, and then your comprehension of it.
yeah.
And I said, because it says on there 45 minutes to an hour for most, how long it's going to take you a day to do this, which everybody listening, think about that. I mean, that's really nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I would like to challenge, if you want to do it, you will not regret it, because the Bible says his word, which is the Bible, never returns void.
Yeah.
Meaning you can never read it and not do something in your life or heart some way, somehow. It just does. But what Sarah says, she can do it in like 30 minutes. I'm like, my goodness, 30 minutes? She said she has to tell herself to slow down. I said, are you comprehending everything you're reading? She's like, everything you talked about, she'll bring up stories that I didn't. I'm like, oh yeah. So she's comprehending. It's just she's read so much her whole
read
life.
Faster than others.
Yes.
It's just a different speed,
she said she's 30 minutes, which is incredible. I'm about 45 minutes to 55. Like, I mean, I don't really time it, but I know that's about what I'm at. And you were saying an hour, 15, an hour and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what. Tara's pretty fast too, isn't she?
She's fast too. I would say she's probably about your speed though.
Yeah, about my speed.
What's funny is I'm a slow reader, but like podcast, I'm like 1.5, 1.75.
Yeah, you speed it up.
I speed it up.
Yeah.
So I can hear it, but when it comes to like reading, I am like, I don't know. I have to feel like I have to comprehend every single word. Now I will like fly through a bunch of things that are just like, it's just very repetitious.
Have you ever been a big reader?
Stuff. I've never really been a big reader though. That's the only thing. But I've always read at my level. Whenever they would test you at your comprehension level, like in high school, I was at my level. So, but I wasn't fast.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I'm not a fast reader.
And I mean, it doesn't. And here's the thing. So going back to it, like you were saying, 45 minutes to even an hour and a half. Take your day from the time you wake up out of bed. Me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just walk through my process, because I'm not trying to definitely. I'm just showing I wanted to talk about the benefits of it and what His Word can do in your life, because you're reading a book, but it's life.
Yeah.
I've read tons of books. I've listened to tons of podcasts, and I've got things out of it. But when you read the Bible and you invest time into it every single day, it changes your life.
Yeah.
It's like, how does it do that? I mean, I do know how, because His Word says it's life. He's the way, the truth, and life, and He is the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, the same as in the beginning with God.
Yeah.
John 1:1, 1:2. But it's like, it's amazing that it can do that to you. I mean, it just shows you that it's real, right? Because people say, how do you know it's real? How do you know God's real? And I say, because I know what He's done in my life and my natural attributes, and I'm not perfect, but He has changed me in those things when I tried to do it myself and I couldn't. Yeah. His word is like a mirror. The Bible talks about it being like a mirror, or a glass. You know, you look into it, you see a reflection, and it shows you who you are, and you're like, man, I can't do that no more. I can't talk like that no more. I shouldn't act like that, right?
Yeah.
But when you get away from it, it says you forget the manner of man that you were.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important. Like, just for instance, us as men, we need that, in our lives.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I think we could be prideful. We can try to do things ourselves, and like, you read in the Bible. I mean, we just read through, Genesis, all the first five books, right? All the children of Israel leaving, Egypt, and how they would leave. They would depart from God, and they would serve other gods, and
then like, come back, and then go ahead.
Yeah, and then, like, they're complaining, and it's like, and when you read it, you're like, oh yeah, this is me. Like when you really read it, like,
yeah,
because it's not a glowing review of the children of Israel.
No.
If it was trying to put them up, no, it does not make them in good light. So it's just a reflection of like, hey, you look at yourself when you really read it. When you read, I try to read is just like, show me something, show me something that could speak to me, and it's sometimes some scriptures are kind of hard to find something, but you might find one scripture that stands out.
Yes.
Like, okay, God, and that's what you kind of have to approach it as is, open-minded and just like work in me, like, because this is like God's word speaking. It's God's word, right? And it's alive. So, and to me too, the big thing as well is like we have conversations, and I think if you're gonna do something, like if you're gonna read the Bible, I don't care if it's a year or 6 months or 90 days, do it with friends. If you do it with friends, family, people that you have conversations with, like we have these conversations, and like, oh yeah, you remember reading about this story?
Yeah.
Like, no, but yeah, let's go. Or like, yeah, but I wouldn't really like understand much about it, and they'll bring you something to you,
Yeah.
and you have this conversation about what you just read, and it almost like reinforces things. Like now I'm memorizing stories that aren't very easy to memorize. It's easier to memorize the plagues of Egypt and the children of Israel leaving Egypt, but there's other stories way in there, like smaller ones, maybe in Judges, about certain judges that you don't remember.
But because someone else brought it out and it reiterated that thought in your head, it sticks with you longer, like you're saying. That's so true.
And we just have so many different conversations, in this group. So you've kind of built this group, and I'm glad. And I think it kind of takes somebody kind of coming out and saying, because you came out and was like, hey, we're starting with 90-day Bible reading. Do you want to join us? It's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, right? You guys are already on it.
Yeah. And we've done it before in the past.
Yes.
And it always created this conversation when you're doing it around those that are doing it. And I hope that you can just bring on more and more people into it.
I forgot to mention Travis is doing it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's just different ones. And in the app, there's a thing where people could chime in and say something about what they read, right?
It's cool. Yeah. If anybody would be interested in doing it, some of you probably have Bible apps on your phone that you read or whatever, or use the Bible itself. I do like reading out my Bible better, but like for the convenience of like doing this, it is nice to have it. Like up here, we don't have service, like you said, so I have it on airplane mode, but I could still keep on track and read my Bible offline. But it says the app is Holy Bible. It's on iPhones, and I think it's U version.
I think it's U version.
U version is that, because there's some that have the same look, but as far as the application looks like, the little icon for it, but it's U version. And what's cool about it is, and I didn't know this till we started doing it, I'm like, dude, I knew you could add friends, but I didn't know we could do the plan together. Yeah. And you could see the check marks and everybody's got it done.
Who's doing it.
And you can put in your notes like, oh, this is what I got out of this today. And like you said, every time you put one in, Sarah or anybody, it's like, oh, like you said, I didn't see it like that, or I didn't even catch that or notice that.
Yeah.
So it's actually very encouraging, and I think it makes it easier.
Yeah. Matt's a good one. Like, he doesn't really chime in on the app much or text. He's not like a texter. You could text him and like he'll never text you back. Like, you could be like, I'm dying, help 911, and he'll tell you, oh hey, I remember seeing that text. Are you okay? You good or what?
Did you make it? No,
it's like dead. A week later. No, I'm good, man. Thanks. Thanks for your concern, though. But he always has good insight because he's kind of studied a lot of things out that are more kind of far out there, and it's just kind of. I think he's kind of looked into some of the. There's just different things where the Bible is like hyperlinked. Hyperlinks when you get on a webpage, it'll link to some another webpage. So the Bible is like it links to something else, but you kind of have to connect the dots because it'll name places and people. And this name will sound familiar, but you have to jump around. He's kind of done a lot of that, so he brings a lot of good insight.
He's a deep thinker, man.
Yeah,
he brought up something about circumcision I honestly never had thought about. We were at Josh and Tiffany's girls' Kinley, I think it's Kinley, her birthday at Thomas's house, and he was talking about the comparison of circumcision to the circumcision of the heart, and I was like, dude, that's actually, I mean, I guess I have thought of that in the past, but I was like, that was the way he brought it out was really good. It was really good. Someone told me he's good at comparisons. I think it was Travis.
Yeah.
Like he can like study this and take that and like see how that meshes together. And I was like, man, that was really good. Like separating them. Okay. Cause what he brought out was like circumcision. I'm not trying to be weird on talking about this.
Like, oh, this is a super uncomfortable topic.
Yeah. But it's a circumcision of the heart. Like, not to be gross, but like it's something. A circumcision for a man is something. It's not seen by him. No one knows.
Yeah, it's
a personal thing. Because you think, why did God want to do that?
Yeah,
like, is there could have done something else, dude? I said, when Joshua, when they got away from that, and Joshua and the Lord told him, bringing something up about we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah,
but when he said, Joshua, you need to get back on it and do it again because we've got away from it. I don't know if you remember that part dude,
they were like
said,
older
can
men,
you
right?
imagine standing in that line? 50,000 people, 50,000 men stand in line, and Joshua was just hacking away.
Here,
and you're in the back of the line, dude. It's like, I'm done. I'm out.
I'm good. Really good.
I'm a backslide. I ain't doing this. Yeah. I'm like,
this is
dude,
really necessary.
I said, how horrible is that? You're in line for 6 hours here and scream after scream, dude. But But what his point was, he brought up was really good, was like of the heart. We don't see the heart. We can't see the heart as in not the physical heart, but the soul, the heart of the soul, right? You can't see that, and all that matters is what's in there and the dedication between you and God. We can act like who we are in front of people. We can go to a church and show up into a building and be part of a club and be part of this and that and say, oh, we do all these great things. But inside the heart, the Bible says it's desperately wicked, and
Who can know it?
And who can know it? And it's really only God. So I was like, that was a good analogy, right? That's a good way to bring that across. Is it's what matters most is between you and God. That being said, you still got to live by His standards, right? You can't just say, well, I have a heart for Him, but you're not being obedient to His word. That ain't going to work either, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, that was a good point. That's just something he brought out, like you talking about how everyone brings something different. I'm like, that kind of struck me pretty good, but
yeah.
I
feel like there is a mindset that when you first did that, I was like, oh, okay. Remember this? Like last time we did this, it was a pretty big thing, right? Like I feel like it took a lot of my time, but thinking like, I feel like I just wasted my time last time. Like I wasn't really focusing much, and obviously I'm older now, so it's like I kind of like certain things that I was spending on my phone doing, like playing a stupid game, and it's like we just take that out, right, and just you just spend your time. Little times reading the Bible. And I work out, and I have like depending on the set I'm doing, like at 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and I'm like pausing what music or podcast I'm listening to, and I'll read for in that 2 or 3 minutes, that that rest period.
Yeah.
So, and I'm getting some chapters in, just like little moments like that, and it's like by the end, and there was days I was getting like jumping into the next day, like halfway into the next day, or almost done with the next day.
Yep.
Because
it's not hard at all.
It's not really that hard.
If you just fill it with those little worthless gaps of time that I waste with stupid, like you said, I get done with it and I'm like, there's nothing beneficial in my life about that. I mean, like I said, it wasn't wrong, but it didn't do anything for me,
Yeah.
But like getting up in the morning, reading 2 or 3 chapters, and then, because I guess we didn't say this, but it averages between 13 and 17 chapters depending on what book and how long the chapters are in the verses.
Yeah.
So like in Psalms, I think there's some days will probably be like 21, 22 chapters, but there's a lot of books in Psalms that are a lot shorter. So what day are we on? Are we on 21? Day 21?
I think 20 or 21, something like that.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's enjoyable. And in fact, I don't like saying I'm going to try something. Like I feel like if you say you're going to do it, you should do it. But I'm planning on doing the 30-day, which is intense. But in my head, I was thinking of what I'm also going to be doing in that. When we finish this in September, right?
Yeah.
So September before duck season, I could get it in one more time before duck season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of time, even duck hunting, like when there ain't no birds flying.
And if you're going to state, I mean, you have somebody else drive. I mean,
dude,
you could slam out
do it.
like several days driving. So
I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Really, the only question is am I going to do it or will I?
Yeah.
Well, am I going to do it?
Like the wise man Yoda said, do or do not. There is no try.
Exactly.
Yes. So
exactly.
Just do it. Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah. I looked at the other one. The other one was a 60-day. I didn't even never see the 30-day until the other day when I texted you guys. 60-day, I was like, man, 2 months. Anyways, Matt brought up a point. He was like, man, a 30-day reading the Bible through front to back would be like 2.5 hours of reading. I was like, but the thing is, Matt, I go, if you spread, not that he was saying that he couldn't do it because I know Matt could, but it's just filling those gaps.
Yeah. And if you don't hit your goal, like we had this conversation, like if I don't hit it, if I don't get it done in 90 days, I get it done in 100 days.
Yeah.
Oops. Like I read the Bible in 100 days.
Right.
Oh man. It's like you finish the Bible.
Yeah.
Which I think is a big deal.
It's huge. Dude, the wisdom in the Bible, the Proverbs, the encouragement, there's so many reasons why to read the Bible,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it lifts you up. It comforts you. It strengthens you. It can change you. It can wash you. His word can cleanse you and make you a different person. And I know for a fact, every time I've read it, I feel like I'm a better man, a better husband, a better father. Yeah. And it just shows you what his word does.
Right.
It's just powerful.
It will change your life.
It will.
Yeah.
100%, no doubt about it.
And I think it's just the added thing too is just having somebody around like just like us, just like you have this
a good group of core people.
Yeah, that are you're just having conversations about it, and your conversation does change because it's like you want to talk about what you just read, right?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe you didn't understand something, so you'll ask somebody else, like, "Do you understand this?"
Yeah.
no, I didn't, but we could like look into it or something like that, right? Or whatever. Maybe somebody might have better insight. But, there's
I don't
just
know
a change
how
in
you could get
conversation.
any more healthy conversation. You can't.
No, you can't.
And again, not saying you
yeah.
can't talk about other things, but it's like, I don't know why. It's some of the most intriguing, exciting conversation I've ever had in my life is when we've had these conversations.
Yeah.
Whether it was the other time we did it or this time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Matt's been still doing it. Like most of every January, he starts it.
He does. Still does it. Yeah.
I know for the last couple of years he was telling me to do it, and I like I said, I started.
Yeah.
But I got in 1 Samuel, and I started slowing down. But
okay.
it
helps too when you have other people on there.
Where
you could see, oh, they're not doing it. You're 2 days behind, brother. What happened?
Yeah.
So I think having the other people with you, like if I'm not going to go run a race, but right, if I have other people that are like, hey, we're going to go do this. All right, I'll join you guys, right?
Yeah.
We've done the Murph, and like you got one guy that's never ran a day in his life. Go do the Murph. He's like doing pull-ups, he's barely getting up there. But it's just having those around you that'll like that are kind of encouraging you and kind of bringing you up. So
it's huge.
Yeah.
And what better thing than encourage each other in?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So find you some good friends that'll read the Bible with you, and you don't have to do 90 days, but you'll find that it's way easier if you do a year Bible reading. You're gonna realize like I'm reading like a chapter like 5 minutes every day. It's like it's like not a lot. There's really no reason for you not to be able to read the Bible in a year.
Right. I mean, you'd want someone to do it than not do it, right?
Yeah.
And if it took a year, but if I could encourage somebody to give it a try, seriously, we dedicate to so many things. We do. I dedicate to the gym. I want to get a 315 bench before I couldn't even do 225, and I'm like, I will get 315.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if it kills me, I'm going to do it. So all these different goals in life we set are a career path. Like, I'm going to go get my helicopter license. I'm going to be a pilot.
Yeah.
Major, major goals. And this is more important than any of those combined, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's also simpler. It's a lot easier than trying to go get a helicopter license.
Right.
It's a lot easier than lifting 315.
Yeah.
So if it's going to benefit my life, me as a man, me as a husband, me as a friend, me as a father, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in, like.
Yep.
But
yeah.
anyways.
We can probably talk about this in another episode as far as going into being a man and stuff.
Yeah.
I won't get into it.
Yes, that next episode, as of now, that's what we'll make episode 2 if you want to listen in. And we'll close this one out, but I want to bring up the topic. And I'm going to have several guys on. I got a lot of good feedback from me and my dad did 2 episodes on that, talking about I think it was the attack on masculinity.
Yeah,
and
I really like those.
Yeah, that's what I've had a lot of people, especially even our people, tell me that, and emails too. And it's probably because he's older and has a lot more wisdom too. But I also want to get a lot of my other friends on here to talk about what it means to you guys. And it don't have to be no long one, but you might bring something out we didn't bring out or I didn't bring out. And even if it's the same thing, it's still like, so that's what we're gonna have several episodes of that, and there'll be a lot of duck hunting stuff too as well, hunting. But anyways, we're up here camping, good times. Got a lot of rain today in the old canvas tent, and if you watch on YouTube, you're definitely see a different setting and look. We're in the Headings camp, in a good spot, but yeah, it's been a little warm up here, but we're having a good time. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.